Good morning, beautiful people. How are you all today? I hope you're feeling fabulous. Well, here we are. It's the beginning of June. Well, beginning-ish. Rusty, what's the date? I think it's about the 6th. Oh, cat hair. What is the date? No, it's the 7th. I think it's the 7th of June, but you're going to see this in a couple of days' time. Anyway, the point is, it's time for the monthly tour of the garden. And as I mentioned in one of the previous videos, I thought I'd try and time it so it's exactly 4 weeks since the May tour. Oh my goodness, have a look back at it. So it's 4 weeks since the May tour, and it's 3 weeks to the day since the arrival of the compost, which, as you all know by now, it kind of pretty much changed everything. It gave me that kind of hope that I could get on with the garden again. Partly because I had compost to actually put seeds into in pots, but also it sort of gave me that thing of, well, try and dig the beds, but if I can't, I've at least got some compost I can put on them. Yay! So what I hope you will see today is a huge difference from 3 weeks ago. I'm so happy, so happy, so relieved. There's still quite a lot to do. The garlic, oh my goodness, the garlic. So let me explain that before we go out there. Normally I would try and get the garlic out in the final week of May. 2 reasons for that. One, because I want the space for the flint corn, and 2, if I leave it much longer, it's in danger of getting white rot, which we have on this site. And what I've found over the years, I used to lift it towards the end of June, rot. So I sneaked it forward a week each year and discovered that actually doing it around the end of May, I'd get it just before the white rot. So it's long overdue, and also because we've had this, oh, there's going to be some fighting. Rusty's in a proper mood, and Poppy's just come. It's alright, Poppy, he's gone now, you're safe. You're not going to be able to jump from there, sweetie, there's so much in the way. Sorry, yes, because we've had this drought, it went dry and crispy really early. So I should have had it out by now, but the other thing was I was focusing so much on getting all the other beds done. I thought I'm going to leave that till last. And of course the ground was rock hard. But here's the thing. We had rain yesterday. Yay! It didn't last very well. It started with 10 minutes of, hey, sweet pea. It started with 10 minutes of hail. Poppy's tail, 10 minutes of hail, and then it turned into rain, and it lasted, I don't know, about an hour or so. It's good. It saved me having to come to water. So I'm hoping that that may have helped me to, this is all a roundabout way of explaining, but hopefully that will help me to get the garlic out. I'll do that after the tour, separate video. Now the other thing, and I'm explaining this now before we go into the garden because you will see evidence of it all over the garden. Oh, 2 days or so ago, yeah, haven't been to the garden for 2 days. 2 days ago, looked at the forecast, and suddenly our nights are chilly. There was going to be a drop on Friday night to 6 degrees. With a feels like of 4 degrees, which is really chilly for the tender plants. So think tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, squash. It's really chilly for all 4 of them. And of course, that's exactly the stuff that I spent last week planting. Oh my goodness. I worked it out in the end last week. I've planted about 200 plants out. Still got all the beans to do. So yeah, I read about that, dashed down here on Friday, and using whatever I had available, my old water bottles for cloches, a bit of fleece I had from, I think it was from Sheila, not this Christmas, but the Christmas before. I'm just going to double check. I kept the card with it all this time. Yeah, it was from Sheila. Thank you, Sheila. It's the only fleece I had because all my previous fleece had been chewed to shreds by mice nesting in my bench here, and they turned it into confetti. Anyway, that's just by way of explaining when we go out, things are covered. I didn't have enough fleece for the tomatoes and peppers, so all I did for them, Poppy tail, was put my Enviromesh, you look gorgeous, my Enviromesh net tunnels on them, just to give them that little bit of buffer from the wind. I'd thought about taking it all off today, but I've checked the forecast and we're due 2 more nights. Now, it's not a frost, but with all these tender type plants, I get nervous when we go below 8 degrees because they really don't like it, and they're still such young plants and they've had that transplant shock of going out into the garden. So I know it might seem like I'm babying the plants a bit, but A, they're important because of my food, and B, they are still babies. But hopefully, what do you think, Poppy? In the next couple of days, it can all come off and, look like a garden rather than a scrap yard. Anyway, without further ado, let's go into the garden, and I hope you'll be, as pleased and excited with the progress as I am, because like I said, that your donations to help me buy that compost, that's kind of what, it's that snowball effect, that's what's triggered me to really knuckle down and turn the garden from concrete covered in scrappy cardboard to what you're going to see now. Come on, let's go up the garden path. Well, for a change, I'm going to start you in this corner of the top bed as opposed to that corner where we normally start, because yay, the teepees are up. Oh, well, as you will have seen in the squash video. Now, I've only got 4 this year because, firstly, well, some of my sticks have crumbled to nothing. Also, one of the varieties I'm growing again is a clump forming, so it doesn't need a teepee. And then I didn't have enough squash, one way or another. But they're all in. Now, this is what I mean about the fleece. The fleeces don't go all the way around, so I've put them on the far side from where we're looking now, because we tend to get our weather coming in from that direction. So it looks like they all did okay. Let's have a little sneaky look under here. Yeah, because of course the other thing with the rain is it does, under here, yeah, it does bring out the slugs and snails. There is one sitting right there. You're coming out, buddy. So, like I said, I will leave these bits of fleece on for now, for the next couple of days, till the nights warm up again. In between, I'm still not sure what I'm going to plant here. Previously I've done my salads, I might do some more, but I have got another salad bed this year. Otherwise I might put some of my spare tomatoes in. I'm managing to give away most of my spares so far, including all the spare celery. Fantastic, yay! So over here I've got the 3, what's this one called, cream of the crop, under their water bottle cloches. You know, these aren't foolproof, but they do offer just that little tiny bit of protection, especially from the wind being chilly. And on the end of this bed, I've got my lovely, one of them not so lovely. Why are you falling over? Oh, I need a bit of soil to prop you up for now, and then get a stick. This is the Fair Ozen, the paprika pepper. Woohoo! You can see also I've got all my bean arches, well, most of them. I've got a couple more to build when I take out the garlic. Yeah, just had to think for a second. And obviously I've got all the beans on the deck coming along nicely to go in there. Coming around, this bed is planted up with the direct sown Coco de Pampol, which I was explaining, I don't normally direct sow because I like to get them going earlier, but obviously this year I couldn't get them going earlier because I had no compost. There is some germination going on. Hopefully this rain will have helped, and then if we get some warmth, great. And then right on the end, do you remember my lovely neighbour gave me some of her self-seeded cosmos? They're all looking fine. There's going to be too much. I thought some of them would keel over, but no. And then they're all underplanted with a scratching of calendula. Fab. Right, I need to sort out this end of the bed. I began to the other day, so I'm pulling out the poached eggs and forget-me-nots which have gone over. That'll give me a bit of a chance to weed down there as well. I don't get much by way of weeds here, just because of the blanket of flowers. But I can see a little bit there, do get a bit of grass, so that can come out. My goodness, the tree lily. Oh my goodness, I've just seen buds. Wow, that's early. Is it early? So this normally flowers in the second week of July, so maybe it's not early. Oh, I'm all over the place this year. I think partly because the weather's been so mad, as in, even in March it felt like summer, but also because I felt so behind for so long. Anyway, very delight to see. Down here you can see, shadow day. There's all the lovely lentils coming up. Fantastic. And what I'll do is, I've been having handfuls of the broad beans out, but now I'm just going to harvest. Actually, let me just come the other way because of my shadow. I'm going to harvest the rest of them in the next couple of days. I've selected a couple down the end which look really good for seed saving. But yeah, there's loads on here to harvest. Yay! And yes, I did get black fly, but because I wasn't expecting anything by way of my broad beans this year after the 3 sowings and mice disasters, I decided for once with the black fly, because I always had tons of ladybirds on them, I thought, right, let's see if the ladybirds can control this black fly for me. And, well, they haven't. So yeah, I will actually be quite glad to get these plants out now. And in their place, I'm going to start with some Brassicas. Already thinking about winter. And look at this beautiful little self-seeded escultia. Isn't that gorgeous? Californian poppies, they're so lovely. This one's just going over. Ooh, breezy, breezy. So lovely. I did sow a load of these at the top end by the lily a couple of years ago and never had any come up. Finally, it's come up in a random place. Okay, bed number 2. Bed number 2 is looking okay. And finally, shadows. I'm finally getting parsnips up. Yay! Yay! And also in here, volunteer tomatoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to just leave them be, see what happens. I think they are probably Rose de Bern. There are gaps in the parsnip germinations. I may, where there's a really big gap, I may re-sow. Yeah, I may do that. Calendula. Oh, they're looking great. That's going to be another lovely harvest this year for my beauty balms. Okay, next bed over. In this end we've got the rock and core, which were not showing about 2 days ago, and they're finally starting to come. Oh, that germination looks a bit intermittent as well, doesn't it? It's looking really good on this row, but on the far row, may re-sow some of those too. And at the top end of this bed we've got chickpeas. I'm going to have to get you really close in to see them. They're just starting to germinate. Fantabulous. Yeah, it's hard to see at the moment, but I can see it is dotted all around with little ones. Okay, let's come the other side of the bean poles. Look at the state of the grass though. Did that rain green it up a bit? No. Oh, I do love a kind of a straight line and then the arches. I'm so happy I've done these this year. Bit of extra work, but worth it. Let me come to this side so my shadow won't be in the way. Remove this stick which was supposed to be protecting. So this is my sort of salady bed. In here I've got spinach, tons of it coming up. I'll thin a bit, but where I thin, I will take the thinnings home and eat them. Next to it, this is salad leaves. I think this is all Reuben's red. Red Reuben's red, whatever you want to call it. It's called both. So got a nice lot of those coming up. Then next to it, past the bottle. This is all, can you get you in there to see? This is all beetroot coming up. I love how bright red the stems are already. Yeah, nice. Lots of those coming up. And then beyond them, just the other side of this stick, this is all chard. Oh, lovely chard. This is rainbow chard again this year. In fact, I wonder if I can show you down. Oh, I can't get you in there. You can see yellow stems and pink stems already on the seedlings. Woo! Oh, I'm pleased. So at the moment I've got all this metal mesh on these beds. Obviously that's to stop the cats and foxes getting in there and scratching. But as things get a bit established, all the metal will come off. Because you know what? I hate all the protection. It's ugly. It's like all these nets and metal meshes and I want to see the plants. But yeah, just give them a chance to get a bit established first. Then this is my 2 rows of new potato. This is Anya. They're all looking great, apart from one just there. It's late to the party. This bed is these 2 rows. This is my main crop. This is a variety called Cara. Again, they're all looking great except for this little tiddler, and just where Rusty is lying, there's supposed to be one in there. I don't know, it happens every year, doesn't it? But same soil, same batch of potatoes, same planting day, same conditions, and yet you have these, so look how they're gorgeous big bushy monsters, and then never mind. Right, lovely. So into this bed, that's all the celery planted. Now the thing is, if you're trying celery for the first time this year, they will look a bit pathetic and flopsy like this at the moment. Have no fear, they're going to get their little toes into the soil, they'll fatten up and they will be gorgeous. I can't wait for my first nibble of fresh this year. Next door we've got what's supposed to be 4 rows of fennel. Just starting. Gosh, you know, that rain, it doesn't matter how much we water, does it? But the minute we get proper rain, they actually start to show up. Hoorah! Oh yeah, I'm chuffed about that. I have been having a little peek under the nets and thinking, oh no, not another non-germinator. I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. Yes, you have to come out today. Both the garlic and the volunteer potatoes in there. We'll do that in a completely separate video. The red onions finally look like they're starting to grow a bit. Of course, these were really late in this year. Some of them, you know, some of them look better than others. The only concern with getting these in late is I'm going to be harvesting them later, but needing the bed for brassicas. Never mind, I'll come back to this bed in a second. The white onions, yeah, they're looking better, but they're still taking their time. Oh well, let's not rush. Now this bed. Which is going to be the best angle for you to see it from? Can you see it through there? Look, the bottom line is, I think I've had one carrot germinate, but a whole lot of weeds. I mean, look, it's just weeds. Weeds. So I'm just going to start again. All I'm going to do is I'm going to rake hoe all these weeds out and re-sow. And to be honest, I don't even know if I'm going to sow it in the shape of NHS. It depends on time, or whether I'm just going to chuck a packet of seeds in there. We'll see. But yeah, I'll rake it all off to get rid of these little annuals. Goodbye, annuals. Yeah, that's been really disappointing. And I think it's because after I sowed them, I didn't get to the plot for I think it was about 6 days. So it's possible they germinated, but I wasn't here to water, so they just dried to a crisp and died in the ground. Never mind, I've got more seed. Never mind, yeah. You know, it's part and parcel of growing, is reseeding. Happens every year with something. Now this is the bed I've been worried about with these cooler nights, and you can see what I mean about putting the environment mesh fleece over. I'm just going to come here. It's a bit tricky lighting today because it's so bright. So this is 2 rows of Gardener's Delight. They actually look fine in there. They just started to green up a little bit before we got this frost warning. And then this is all a mixed bag, but I didn't have enough of my nets to do this back row, which is a combination of Rose de Berne, 4 of them, and at the other end the Amish pasties. But actually, even the Amish pasties are, you see in the top there, just starting to green up. They want to do it. Come on guys, you can do it. God, they're pathetic at the moment though, aren't they? Oh my goodness. And then under this net, this is all the orange bell peppers, one that didn't fit. And my rationale with this net here as well, like I'm often mentioning, our weather tends to come from here in this direction. So I thought at least if I put this over the peppers, it will give some protection to the cukes behind. They all seem okay. In fact, just spotted. Oh, hello, precious. Oh, let's see if I can get you right in there. Sorry, guys. First flower. Yay. Oh, fab. Yeah, what a poor week for these little guys, you know. Transplant shock on a scorching hot day, and then 2 days later, freezing their little root balls off. Yeah, I think they'll all survive. More of the horizontal squash. Actually, they look a bit squished in their bottles. They had got quite big, but again, I'm sure they'll survive. So, garlic needs to come out. That's my second to last bed to sort out, and flint corn can go in. And then under here, I need to dig out on the top of the bags of compost. You can see how, look, that pile went down, doesn't go far. That's a load of brassicas. There's a mixture of curly kale and purple sprouting broccoli. Some will go out, and then round here, oh, I'm probably coming the wrong way to show you. I definitely am coming the wrong way to show you. This is my chosen specimen. It's coming all the way up. You see it's right into the rose bush. There's its little flower head. Crikey, that's, oh, it's going up. It's even higher. That must be 5 feet high now. So that is the celery I selected for seed saving. All of its little side shoots as well. The rest of it under here, this all needs to come out, get chopped up, added to the compost, and then I can plant a squash, which will be very nice. Oh no, that is beans that had come up and then were immediately destroyed by slugs and or snails. So they're just sitting there and for me to add that compost to this bit of soil. Right. Very last few tomatoes and bits in the cold frame. All the squash for here excuse me, are still in their pots. So rather than cover them out here, the other night I've just quickly shoved them back in the cold frame. That's them waiting to go out. That's the peppers I'm thinking about trying in the cold frame. I need to get some big pots and some communal compost. Let's have a look to see how loofah. How's the loofah doing? Well, it's not exactly going for it yet, but there is good healthy growth. Can I show you in this tip here? Again, it's another thing of patience, isn't it? The last of the spare tomatoes, yeah, they need homes, and if I can't find homes for them, I'll have them amongst the teepees. Because also, not only but also, that is some spare Gardener's Delight, and there, that's more spare Gardener's Delight. I told you it's the year of growing spares. Oh, look at the bed. It's just a constant delight. I need to remember very soon to put tulle over the, the blueberries, because, let me see if I can just step in here and show you. Look at all the fruit on it. There's loads. Obviously it's still in its first year, so it's not masses and masses and masses, but I think, actually, for its first year, that's fab. Whoa, getting back out again. Ooh, nearly fell. Feverfew starting to go mad. The chives are pretty much over now, the flowers, but they're so lovely. I like to leave them. The hyssops that had a massive hacking, they're doing great. This is the bergamot, which didn't do anything last year. I'm hoping it will get established this year. Fingers crossed. Fingers firmly crossed. The English lavender. Oh wow. Oh, it's going for it already. It's so beautiful. And I love this sort of, this view of the scabious amongst it too. I should deadhead that and hopefully get some more. Oh, and talking of deadheading, I need to do a bit of deadheading here too, because these have been absolutely gorgeous this year. Absolutely beautiful. Love the mix of colours. I've taken a few home already, and I am, there we go, at the moment I'm trying to keep on top of deadheading. Obviously as the season goes on, I will let some seed heads develop for seed for next year, of course. Underneath, oh my goodness, I completely forgot about protecting this is the Dulong de Londe peppers here in the Hugel cultures, and then in their own growing bag over there. But you know what, I think they just get a bit of protection from this fence, so they look okay. And the achocha, oh, look at all this beautiful growth. That is getting ready to go bonkers. And look, you see its little tendrils, it's already starting to cling on. Oh, and it sent one over here. I adore these tendrils. So that's the one in there, and then in the back of this one there are a couple. They're just starting to get away now too. Fantastic. Right, on the deck itself I've got brassicas to prick out where they did germinate. Where they haven't, I'm actually gonna, oh look, I've lost that one. Darn those pesky slugs and snails. Yeah, I'm going to re-sow, because even though I've got quite a lot, it looks like, in terms of the ones that are over on the compost, I know it's not enough for me. Flincorn is desperate to go out. I mean, goodness, look at it. It looks like I'm growing a tray of grass. Yeah, that garlic is definitely the next job. Now, unfortunately, this is the Coco Sophie. This is the climbing version of Coco de Paimpol. I've lost quite a few to slugs and snails. I mean, look, they're just, will it recover? Well, I'll leave it, see if it will. The Coco de Paimpol, however, there's 4 trays of them here, look, fingers crossed, pretty untouched. Yay! And then the Gigantes are getting gigantic. They're doing great. In the back of this one, this is Bolotti. This is all the Trail of Tears. This is the Helder. So yeah, they were looking fine. And like I say, I'm going to give them another week to just get their little roots established before transplanting. And that'll be my last planting done for now. The potato, this is Anya, this is more of the new potatoes. These were the 2 I had spare in the growing bag. They're looking big and blousy. Yay! So, I think, considering, let me bring you back around, I think that considering just 1 week ago, not 1 week, sorry, 1 month, oh goodness, that would be super. Considering a month ago, this is all covered, these beds were all concrete, just covered in cardboard. I only had 7 beds up and running, no structures in place, nothing. I am pretty darned well chuffed with all of that. Yay! Like I say, there's still quite a bit of work to do still, you know, under here, garlic, last structures, but that is definitely, I've broken the back of it. Whew. So apart from the garlic today, I think I'm going to have a slightly easier day. I may draw up my deck chair somewhere here and just sit and enjoy for a while. We've earned a bit of a sit down, eh? Yay! Well, thank you for having a little plod around the garden with me today. I will see you all really soon, hopefully in the garlic bed. But until then, please take care of yourselves and enjoy your green spaces. Bye for now.